I will go ahead and jump right in. All right. So first off, of course, I have to mention we are back in person this year for World Cup. For the first time in several years, we're going to be in Puerto Rico. And of course, this is an open invitation to any of our faculty and students who would like to join us. If you want more information about how to register for Puerto Rico, please reach out to your regional program manager, and they can get all that information to you. So that's going to be October 30th through November 2nd. And of course, we would love to see all of you guys there and representing the US. And I will pass this over to Ken to introduce our next big event this fall.
Hey, thanks, Hannah. As most of you know, we have our Fall Collaboration Summit series coming back again, and both those will be in different places. The first one's October 8th in Wyoming, and then the second one, November 12th in Shelton. What we did as a team is we basically, redesigned it in a way to where we thought, what value do students want, and what's the most engaging to them that they can take, not just back to their Enactus team, but to wherever pathway they go to for professional development. So really took things such as training, networking, career development, and collaboration, and thought, what can we do to make this a meaningful experiential day for them? So anywhere ranging from project ideation all the way to how to present yourself, 90-second pitch things like that. So it's going to be a really fun summit. It's definitely what you make of it, and we think it'll be a really awesome day-long events at both these locations.
Thank you so much, Ken. Registration is open for the Fall Collaboration Summit, so if you are interested in attending, please go ahead and register for that as soon as you're able. If you want more information, please reach out to your RPMs. That's what we're here for, to answer any of those questions. Our next big program is, of course, the Enactus Entrepreneurial Exchange. If you've been around for a while, this will probably be a little familiar to you, but this is our last cohort going through this exchange with Morocco. It kicks off on October 17th. It's going to be our largest cohort, but just like in the past, it's going to culminate in a pitch competition where the winning students are going to receive some funding to put their project into action after the program ends. It's a 6-week virtual exchange with Morocco, with Enactus Morocco, where students will kind of be led through the process of creating their project pitch related to one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. It's a really awesome opportunity for our students to get involved, to experience the global network that Enactus has. And I really encourage any new or even students who have been around for a long time to register for this event if they haven't yet. It's a very unique opportunity. And like I said, this is our last cohort, our last chance to experience this. Now I'll pass it over to Sierra.
Also on our last chance list, we are running our 5th year of the BNY Fellows Program. So that is the Bank of New York's Mellon Fellowship Program that we have put on the last 5 years, which has just been great. There have been a lot of changes over the last 5 years, and I think we've really got the cream of a crop for the program this year. So this will have 4 competencies this year. And one of the big changes we've made is we're letting it be completely self-paced. So in previous years, we had cutoff dates, or we had dates we really had recommended students to be completed by so we could do another kickoff call. But while we still may put those dates out there, we're super excited to just allow students and teams to get into this program and to be as involved as quickly or as long spanning as they like. So registration will be opening at the end of September, and we will be letting students either, again, start completely in the fall, use it in the spring, however you want. So it'll have 4 competencies, which will be leadership, project management, career readiness, and development. So we're really excited to see all of the students during the program again this year and just really get involved. There's a little bit of fun money for students and for teams for completing the program. So if you'd like to know more about that, follow the link and you'll learn more.
All right, Imani.
Hello, everybody. My name is Imani Gilliam. I'm the newbie on the team. I serve as the Senior Program Manager, specifically working with HBCUs and HSIs, our diverse serving institutions. And so I am also spearheading the Standard Charter Future Makers Program, which is a new initiative within Enactus. And this is a program that really focuses on employability, right? We're looking to train Enactus teams, our college students, to really work with disadvantaged youth. And we're going to do that and really work with them on employment, entrepreneurship, digital and IT skill development, and financial readiness. And so we have a big goal to reach of 7,000. So, anyone that is interested in learning more about the Standard Charter Future Makers Program can email me directly. We do have a little bit of funding money for those teams that do join. And this is a great passion project for individuals that want to work with disadvantaged youth groups. And so it's a really great way to kind of spearhead a passion project.
All right, Britt.
Yeah, so for the second year in a row, we have One Race for Oceans. This is one of those target projects where we really get to look at life below water and what it looks like to really tackle that goal. So there's 5 focus areas. That's going to be sustainable marine aquaculture. That's going to be sustainable marine fisheries, coastal marine habitats, ocean climate resiliency, oh my goodness, sorry guys, and direct ocean pollution. And so any of the projects that focus on those particular goals and focus on those areas, you have an opportunity to win up to $10,000 by implementing projects. We care about our oceans, and it's a big thing that impacts all of us. And so we have a competition that gets to focus on it, which is great.
Thank you guys so much. So passing it on to Jody for our last big program update.
Thanks, Hannah. So I'm Jody Ledford. I live out in Michigan. I'm the Enactus US Career Manager. We've been working really hard on reimagining our career space to better serve our students and our Enactus alumni. And we really were interested in making it super simple to get involved. Just out of curiosity, I want to say thank you for all of you joining today. But if you can put in the chat, do you need career help, or do you want an internship or a job? Would career services be helpful to you at your campuses? If that is yes, can you throw something in the chat what you would like career help with so we can see where your career service needs are? When we reimagine the career space, we reimagine it and we developed the Career Advantage program. We wanted to make it simple. So to get started, there's 3 simple steps today that you can do. The first thing is you can opt in to receive career events from Enactus Career Advantage program. It only takes about 10 seconds. So if you or your students are interested in career help, that's the first step. The second step is we are set to go with live registration for our fall virtual career and networking fair. The event will be virtual, so you can log in from anywhere at any time. The event runs from 8 to 8, and we are looking at all majors and all classmates. That date is Wednesday, October 5th. So get signed up for that today as well. The next way to get involved with the Career Advantage program is to check out our partners. We have revamped our career marketplace and our website, so you can click on that link to see who our partners are that are hiring talent. I want to thank you all for joining today, and just take a few minutes and get signed up if you need career help. Thank you for joining us. Back to you, Hannah.
All right, thank you, Jody. So we will be sending out this presentation to everybody who registered. I know there's been lots of links on here. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to access those registration links and to opt into some of these different programs. So now we're going to move into what is hopefully the bulk of our session and open it up to you guys to ask any questions that you have. I know we introduced a lot of information, and we are here to answer any questions that you have. So feel free to raise your hand or throw your question in the chat. I will give you guys a couple of seconds if anybody else has something else they'd like to say to jump in. Yes, so April asked if the link is open for One Race for Oceans. So right now we have an interest link set up on the website, and I will make sure to send that out when we send this presentation as well. Like last year, it is going to be run alongside the global One Race for Oceans. And so the steps will be very similar. There's going to be an action entry form, a progress report, and that is what the judging will be based on those submissions. The action entry form is not open yet, but the interest form is. And so if you are interested at all and think that you might be able to come up with a project for One Race for Oceans, I really encourage you to go ahead and submit your team's name to that interest form to make sure that you get all of the updates about when those additional forms open up. So I know there were a couple people that said that they're landlocked, which is totally okay. There are lots of opportunities to still have oceans projects. If you're curious about those or just need help bouncing ideas off of somebody, please reach out to your regional program manager. We're happy to help, and we have lots of resources to kind of help you come up with new projects. So this is for new and existing projects. If you don't have an oceans-based project that fits one of those criteria, now is the time to get started right here at the beginning of the year.
One big thing that I will encourage you guys is if you are landlocked, it has to be something that could be repeatable and scalable into the ocean. So if you focus on rivers and streams, that's okay. But they're due to last year's requirements and definitions, it asks that you at least make it repeatable and scalable into oceans.
All right, and then I saw Stephanie also asked about competition this year. So we are not ready to announce what Expo is going to look like last year or look like this coming year, but we are currently in the planning process and we hope to have that information ready to send out soon and what exactly that will look like. But we are making a move towards more in-person events as much as we are able to. So we will have that information ready in the next couple of weeks or months.
Hey, Hannah. Taya asked in the chat, is the Ford Fund Fellowship Program application for individuals or for teams?
The Ford Fund Fellowship is more for individuals. I can send out some more information about that. It was included in the welcome back letter with a link, but I will make sure to include that in the follow-up email as well.
Hey, Hannah, I'm super excited. We're already getting forms coming through. People are opting into the Career Advantage program, so it's awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, Hannah, I saw a question on here about the best links to show projects that our students have already done or are working on to stimulate ideas for their students.
Absolutely. So a great resource for all of our Enactus teams to utilize is Enactus Plus. That's kind of a great way to see what teams from all around the world are working on. Also a great reminder to our current teams to make sure that your Enactus Plus profile and project cards are updated for this current year as well, because it is a great resource for other teams. We also have a recording of a lot of the presentations from Expo last year as well. That is a really great resource for teams to watch to kind of get an idea of what you're working towards throughout the program year with Enactus. Your regional program manager is also a really great resource to reach out to maybe set up a brainstorming session or a design session for projects to help get those ideas started. It is not too late. Right here at the beginning of the year, we're get started on that. So if you need the contact information for your regional program manager, I think one of them can probably throw that link in the chat really quick. And please feel free to reach out to them.
We had a question about the COVID vaccination still being required to attend in-person events as well.
So for the fall collaboration summits, which are coming up this fall, there is not a COVID vaccine requirement. We are leaving it up to individuals to determine how comfortable they are and the COVID precautions we would like to take. Obviously, we still want to be very aware and cautious of COVID as it exists. So masks will be available and hand sanitizer, and students are free to continue to socially distance as best as possible, but we will not be checking COVID vaccines to be able to attend the fall collaboration summits.
The only thing we're asking with that is even if you have the sniffles, a cold, signs of strep, flu, etc., we ask that you plan not to attend just because we don't want any issues there. We don't want to share our germs with anybody else.
And then April asked for the dates for the fall summits. So our first one is a month from today on October 8th, and that is going to be at Polaris in Wyoming, Minnesota, which is near Minneapolis. We also have one on November 12th at the BIC headquarters on, I did say November 12th already. Both of them are open to any teams that are available to travel. So it is really up to the teams to determine which one is more accessible to them. Sorry, I'm still reading the chats as well. We are happy to share more information about the Fall Collaboration Summits. All of the RPMs right now are working on finalizing the programming for the Fall Collaboration Summits, but it is going to be a little bit different than last year, which is one of the things we wanted to make sure that we kept in mind because we did this last year. So that any teams that have attended in the past are still going to get a new experience, a new and valuable experience as well. It's really going to be focused on applying some topics of project design and implementation to make your team stronger and really set you out with a strong foundation going into the rest of the year so that you're feeling very prepared for next semester when we start in an impact and all of those things.
That's great.
And then I saw Michael also.
Oh, we're cutting out a little bit.
My internet connection is going out, so what?
We had a question about our Enactus Ukraine teams. Do you know if we have any updates from Robin on how they're doing?
Our last update on Enactus Ukraine was the last update we got from Robin. Obviously, the situation there is still ongoing and still ever evolving. So our thoughts and our hearts are with the teams, the students, faculty, and staff for Enactus Ukraine. But I will refer to Robin's official statement on where that process is. But we are still thinking of them and holding them in concern in our network. I saw Linda also asked about the early stage competition this year. Yes, it is our plan to do early stage as well this year. For those teams that are new, we have 2 tracks of competition at Expo. We have the World Cup qualifier, which is how we name our national champion that will be representing the US at World Cup. And we also have early stage to really celebrate those projects that are at the, as the name suggests, early stages of development and don't quite have the impact that those World Cup qualifier projects have. So if you have a new project or you're thinking about starting a new project, I encourage you to kind of look at what the early stage presentations looked like last year to help prepare yourself for what you can expect for early stage. But it was a great competition last year. City University of Seattle was a great representative to be one of our first early stage on stage in person winners. So there are a couple more questions. Jerry asked about online attendance. Jerry, if you were referring to the Fall Collaboration Summits, those are going to be strictly in person for this fall. However, we are looking at some different opportunities to provide virtual training and experiences for students where travel may not be possible or as accessible because of the locations and where they're located. So as that information starts to get finalized, we'll make sure to get all of that out to faculty and students as soon as we can. We also have a question about the search for the new president of Enactus USA. I'm sure that is top of mind for a lot of people as Steve left on August 19th of this year to spend a little bit more time with his family and enjoy some new business ventures. But we are still in the process of looking for a new president. We hope to have an announcement here as soon as possible, and we'll get that out to all of you guys as quickly as we can. But Robin, our president and CEO of Enactus Global, is spearheading that search. And according to her, we have a lot of really, really great candidates that we're excited to meet and introduce to you guys. And then can teams tune in remotely to the World Cup competition coming up? I will actually, Daniela looks like she already answered that. Yes, teams can attend World Cup 2022 virtually or in person, and she threw the link in there with some more information as well. All right, and then Rebecca asked, because we are kind of gearing into recruitment time, and I'm sure that is a huge major undertaking for a lot of your teams right now, if there's a way to get some Enactus t-shirts and swag, and how do we do that? So for a lot of the Enactus t-shirts and swag, that kind of is up to the team to design their own t-shirts and get that to your students. But we can help you with some of the branding for that to make sure that you have the access to the Enactus logo. Reach out to your regional program manager with what specifically you want. We can also provide you with some resources for recruitment, some information or flyers that you can use if you have a activity fair on campus or something like that. All right, I think I've answered all of the questions in the chat. Does anybody want to come off mute and ask maybe another question? All right, we also had a question, are there going to be any new races? So Enactus Plus is the best place to go for up-to-date race information. One Race for Oceans is a US specific race, as well as a global race, but they're two separate competitions. So it is possible to win One Race for Oceans US and also win One Race for Oceans Global separately at the same time. For the other races, as they are confirmed, those will be on the Opportunities tab on Enactus Plus. If you have any issues accessing Enactus Plus, please, again, a broken record, reach out to your regional program manager. We're happy to help direct that information to you, but we definitely are in the season of renewals and announcements about the races. So that information is coming out as we speak. All right. Are there any other questions?
Hannah, I've got a question. Can everyone put in the chat what they're looking forward most to in this Enactus school year or in this Enactus year? Because I know I am jazzed to be back. Summer was nice, but I'm glad to see all of your smiling faces and to be getting numerous emails from all of you.
As you guys are asking that question, which I am very excited to see what your answers are as well. So I just wanted to send out a few reminders. You should have gotten the welcome back email from your regional program manager that lists all of this information again. But as a reminder, it is great to have just your annual checkpoint with your regional program manager. That is our chance to really get to know what is important to your team, what's going on right now. If you need additional resources, help with recruitment, help with competition prep, coming up with a new project idea, that is a great time to connect with one of the program staff here at Enactus, and we can help direct you and make sure you get started off on a really good foot for the 2022 school year.
No more 2020, please. We don't want to go.
Yes, and lots of people are mentioning that COVID did play a huge effect on their team over the past year. So hopefully by connecting with the regional program manager, we can connect you with resources to kind of help combat that, because that is a very, very common issue that we've heard and are eager to help address so that we can start maybe seeing the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit. Seeing lots of people excited about continuing their projects. Britt said she's looking forward to the fall checkpoints. Said our job is to connect with teams, so it's one of our favorite things to do, kind of across the board. Christy is one of our new faculty advisors, and she said she's looking forward to having opportunities for the students to travel and network internationally. Yes, that is one of the unique things about Enactus, is that we have this global network of students, and They work together so well, and we're really trying to introduce even more of those opportunities. So even as the Enactus Entrepreneurial Exchange wraps up this year, be on the lookout for announcements of new programs that could be happening in the future that will connect our network even further. All right, lots of continuing your projects. And if anybody feels very passionately about their project, this is a great forum to kind of announce what you're working on and give a little spiel about what your Enactus team is doing this year. We'd love to hear that. All right. Well, as I mentioned, I will be sending out this presentation with the registration links to everybody that was registered. Please feel free to send this on to your students as well that weren't able to join us today for this session. We're so glad everybody was able to join us. Jerry, I saw you just put your hand up.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give it a quick spiel about what we're doing here at Pillar College. We're a small faith-based school here in New Jersey, so we're probably a school you've never heard of before. But we are taking a close look at the problem of addiction in the state of New Jersey, opioid addiction in particular, and has been aggravated during COVID. I think you've all read perhaps there are 107,000 deaths nationwide during COVID. And it's a combination of not just addiction, but also mental health, homelessness, and incarceration. People call it the perfect storm: mental health, homelessness, and incarceration. And our university has formed a anchor of hope at Pillar College to address the problem, initially in the city of Paterson, which is the third largest city in the state of New Jersey. And we're aligned with a, rescue mission in Paterson, some civic-minded organizations. And we're working very hard to incorporate our fledgling Pillar Enactus team in that initiative. But our team is down to 0, like many teams are. We grew to a team of 15, and then with graduation, we lost them. With COVID, we lost track of them. Now we're trying to get them back. So the initiative's going forward, and we're trying to figure out how we can incorporate Enactus into that initiative. And we have a meeting set up next Tuesday. Hannah's going to attend, and virtually at least. And we're talking to several schools in New Jersey about how they might also participate in that initiative. So just a thumbnail sketch.
Thank you, Jerry. Yes, I've had the privilege of talking to Jerry quite a bit about the work that he's doing at Pillar College and Anchor of Hope. And it's just one of the many great projects we've had from East Central. They mentioned their Village Poultry Project or enterprise that is ongoing and continuing. I'm very excited to see all of these projects that we start to recognize by name and how they grow over the next year. That's one of the really great things about our network here at Enactus is the impact that we're having on the things that we're all passionate about. So thank you guys so much for sharing and for being so active in the chat and sharing your questions. We are still here even after this Zoom call ends to answer any of your questions. So if nothing immediately came to mind while we were here, please feel free to reach out to any of us via email, and we are happy to help. And we are so excited to get this school year started. But
hey,
thank
Hannah,
you guys.
We have 2 in the chat I'd actually love to read out really quick, just in case people don't see the chat. Taya shared that their team just got back from Uganda, Africa last month, and that they've had the opportunity to continue working on their Village Poultry Enterprise project. And Mark shared that their team is working on a project to upcycle plastic bags to totes and also helping coffee growers in Haiti to sell their coffee in the United States. And their farmers are earning $4 a pound for their coffee versus the $1, which is what most coffee growers are paid. So super exciting to hear all these great projects.
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, like I said, I love all the projects that the teams are working on, and this is such a great forum to learn all about that. The other great place to put that is, again, on Enactus Plus. It is a great place to showcase the work that you're doing, to talk about it with your regional program manager as well during your fall checkpoints. But I want to be respectful of your time. We're coming up on the half hour. This meeting was recorded. We'll be posting it again on our YouTube channel. So we can direct that link to you guys to share with your students, as well as the presentation for you guys to share and access all of those links on our website. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We're so excited to get this year started. And I can't wait to continue working with all of you during the 2022-2023 academic year. Thank you guys.